Hi guys, this is Sandy, a licensed realtor here in Central Florida, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to win in a bidding war. The real estate market is crazy right now. We are seeing a lot of bidding wars going on, a lot of very frustrated buyers. They put several offers in, offers aren't accepted. A lot of buyers blame their agent, they blame the market. They try to go directly to the seller, which doesn't work a lot of times. So let's talk about how to win in a bidding war. It doesn't matter what the price is. Most price range right now up to I think like $800,000 is still a bidding war. Some even $1 million properties are in bidding wars as well. And how do you win this? If I'm a first-time home buyer, or if I'm looking to sell my home to buy another home, I'm going to be scared to do that, because how do I win in this space? Like, what if I put some offers in? What if I accept an offer in my house and then I went and put an offer in another home and I don't win that? And in this market, no one is taking contingent upon you. Not even the builders want to take a contingent upon you selling your home. So how do you do that? How do you win and guarantee getting a home in this crazy market? Let's talk about some of the strategies that you could use. So as a buyer, you have to be educated in the market we're in. And we're in July 2021. We're in a crazy seller's market. And I'm in Central Florida, but I think this is going on all over, right? People are in this bidding war. So how do we win our bids? So some of the things that what you want to consider doing is listen to your real estate agent. First, you got to trust the real estate agent that you're working with. You got to trust the real estate agent and make sure that you know that they're working in your best interest. That the trust has got to exist, guys. Because the way this market is going, if you don't trust your real estate agent, you're not going to believe what they're telling you. You're not going to believe that, how could I put 5 different offers in and 5 different properties and not one of them is accepted? I don't think the agent is telling me the truth. Well, here's the thing. The agent is not going to get paid until they sell you a home, right? So it is not going to be in their interest, no matter what, to tell that your offer was not accepted, because only if your offer is accepted and you go to the closing table are they going to be paid for the hard work that they're doing. So there's some truth to really what they're saying. So some of the things that some buyers are doing, it depends upon the situation you're in, right? A lot of sellers are asking the buyers to waive the appraisal contingency. What does that mean? I told my buyer that one time, and he's like, what do you mean waiving the appraisal contingency? So most of the time when you buy a property, the property is subject to being appraised. And if the property does not appraise for the price you're buying it for, then you could walk away from the deal, right? You could say, well, I'm not going to buy the property. And if you're financing, the bank is not going to lend you more than what the property appraised for. So if you're buying a property for $400,000 and the appraisal come back at $350,000, the bank is not going to lend you $400,000. They're going to lend you $350,000, right? So if you're able to pay the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price, then you might be able to win the bid, because then you could say, okay, I'm going to waive my appraisal contingency. I will bring to the closing table whatever the property does not appraise for, right? Back in 2008, 2009, the appraisers were just appraising the property at will. Now there's a lot of appraising rules, so the appraiser is only going to appraise a property for what similar homes are selling for in that area and what other amenities that property tend to have, right? So when they appraise a property, let's say they appraise a $400,000 property. Let's say the contract price is $400,000 and they appraise the property, but the property appraised at $380,000, right? The seller is going to want you to bring the $20,000 difference to the closing table if you waive the appraisal contingency. So that's what it means when you're waiving the appraisal contingency. So what I would say to you is ask your agent, what are similar homes selling for in the area? If I waive my appraisal contingency, how much do we think the property may appraise for, right? If the property is going to appraise for $5,000 or $10,000 less, then you may want to play that game, right? If it appraised for over $20,000, do you have that difference? So you want to know what the property value are up front. So when you waive the appraisal contingency, then you know that more than likely it will appraise for my purchase price. If it doesn't, I might have to bring $5,000 or $10,000 more to the closing table. That's one way of putting a bid. Another way is waiving the inspections, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you should not get a home inspection on a home that you're buying, but sometimes we get these homes where there was already an offer on the property and the deal fell apart, and the buyer did an inspection and the seller has the inspection report, right? So some sellers might say, hey, I have an inspection report, So I'm going to give you the inspection report if you waive your inspection contingency, okay? Or if you want to do a home inspection, you may want to have a 5-day inspection period or maybe a 2-day inspection period. You might want to have a inspector lined up and say, hey, I'm bidding on this house. So if I win, I want you to be able to go in the house the next day and do an inspection for your own peace of mind. The sellers don't want to have a 10 or a 15-day inspection period anymore because of how crazy the market is. So if you kind of shorten your inspection period or waive your inspection period, then that will also give you an in. Another thing to consider is, what are the seller's goal? When are they looking to move, right? If you meet your closing date expectancy, then that will also give you an in. So you could ask your agent to ask the seller's agent, what is their closing line? When are they looking to close? Are they looking to close in 30 days, 45 days? If you're looking to close in 30 days, then you got to go to your lender if you're financing to find out if your lender will be able to do the financing in 30 days, right? That may be something you could do. That may be something you may have to give up on, right? Completely up to you. Another thing you could also find out is, I'm selling now. What if the seller wants to sell and then rent the property back from you for a few months? Are you open to that? So you might win a bidding war that way. The seller might be like, well, I'll close now, but I need to rent it back because I'm building a house and it's not going to close until 2 months from now. Can you rent it back to me for 2 months? Are you willing to do that? So it's not always about the highest and best offer. It's also about the highest and best terms, the best terms that's right for you or the seller, right? You might say, you know what, I'll buy the property as is. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do a home inspection just for my own knowledge, but I'll buy the property as is, right? Most properties are being sold as is in our area anyway. And most of the time the seller will tell you, you could do an inspection for your own purposes, but we're not fixing anything. That's another thing. What if you were to combine everything? What if you were to say, listen, seller, you're asking $350,000 for your home. I'm going to give you $360,000 for your home. So I'm giving you $10,000 more. I am going to waive my appraisal contingency. So I'll bring the extra $10,000 to the table if I have to. I'm going to waive my inspection contingency. I want to do a home inspection, but it's not going to be contingent on the sale, right? Or the house look to be in pretty good condition. I'm just going to waive that inspection contingency. I'm going to close on the day you want to close on, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, whatever. If you need to rent back, I'm going to rent it back to you. Of course, you're going to have an agreement separate with that. Those are some of the ways you could use to win a bidding war. The thing is too, with financing, some people are doing FHA, some people are paying cash. Some people are doing 20% down, some people are doing 40% down. That's also going to play a role in if you win the bid or not, right? Because if somebody's coming in with an FHA at 3.5% and they're competing with somebody putting 20% down, the one with 20% down might win, but what if the person with 3.5% down is willing to rent back to the seller? It's telling the seller, listen, I know you need to rent for 2 months after we close, because maybe the seller needs the money. Maybe the seller needs to close on the property to take the money to buy something else, and they want to stay in the property for 2 more months while they're doing that. Maybe the person with the FHA financing is willing to allow the seller to do that, and the person putting 20% down is not. So it's not always terms. It's not always, well, I have an FHA, so I'm going to get left behind. Not necessarily. It depends upon the seller and the agent that's representing that seller that you're dealing with, right? So these are some of the ways of winning a bidding war. Another thing is, if you're going to be buying a home right now in this market that we're in right now, you have to realize that the list price is the starting price, right? So don't even think of offering less than list price. If they're asking $350, $400, $450, just go ahead and offer that at a minimum. At a minimum. Don't go, okay, they're asking $450, maybe they'll take $440. You probably won't win the bid, right? It depends upon how aggressive the market is. Always ask your agent to do a CMA for you, to find out, to send you a list of all the most recent sold properties in the area that you're buying in. That's comparable to the property you're buying. So if you're buying a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, priced at $450, you want to know what is the last 4-bedroom, 3-bath home that's sold in that subdivision or area or development, and what did it sell for? Did it sell for $450, $440? What did it sell for? Because if you're going to be waiving your appraisal contingency, then you need to know how much more money may I have to bring to the table with me. So these are some of the things that will help you to win a bidding war. You got to start off with the list price. When you put your offer in as well, guys, make sure you're putting your highest and best offer, because they don't always come back and ask for highest and best. If they get 20 offers on the table at one time in like 24 hours or 48 hours, they're going to go through all 20 offers and they're probably just going to pick one. They are not going to necessarily go back to 20 people and say, hey, give me your highest or best offer. Or, what they might do if they have 20 offers is take the best 5 offers and go back to those 5 agents and say, hey, we're in a bidding war here. What's your highest and best? Maybe your offer didn't even come in that top 5. So your offer just got rejected. So it's always best to go in with your highest and best. This is not the time to play games. This is not the time to say, well, I'm paying cash. Because guess what? I don't know about other areas, but in our area, a lot of people, cash buyers are normal in Central Florida, right? Because this is not necessarily a first-time home buyer market that we're in. We're in a market where people are coming to buy their second, third, fourth, fifth home. We're in a market where we have investors looking to do short-term rentals or Airbnb and all that kind of situation. So we're not necessarily in the first-time home buyer space. So if you're a first-time home buyer and you're making an offer and you're competing with investors and people buying second and third homes, you want to come in with your best game on. You want to make your best offer up front. And if you make your best offer up front and it's accepted, don't feel like you're being gypped. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I offered $10,000 more and they accept my offer. Maybe if I'd offer $5,000 more. No, that wouldn't have worked because the person that offered $5,000 more did not get the property. You did because you went in with $10,000 or $20,000 more, right? So don't come in with that, with thinking that if you put your highest and best offer in and you win the bid, then maybe you shouldn't have done that. You did that because you wanted to win the bid, right? So when my clients are putting offers, I asked them, I said, what is this home worth to you? Like, do you really, really want this home, or are you just seeing if you could get it, right? Because it depends upon the motivation. If the motivation is, I really, really want this home, then come in with your highest and best. But if the motivation is, well, I'm gonna put an offer in, it'd be okay if I get it, but it's not a big deal, then you don't need to put your highest and best offer in at that point in time. Another thing that you need to do is you might need to put in more than one offer on properties at the same time. I know a lot of real estate agents is gonna hate me for saying this, but you may want to look at properties and put offers in on 2 or 3 different properties at the same time. Because what if you don't win the first one? You got to start over from scratch, right? So if you went out and you're able to see 5 properties, because we have very low inventory right now. So if you went out and you're able to see 4 or 5 properties, put an offer in on the 2 or 3 that you really like. But here's the best way to win your bidding war. Best way. This is the last part of the video here. The best way to win a bidding war is to do what we call our Dream Home Finder program. And in our Dream Home Finder program, we ask our buyers, what area would you like to live in? What development do you really like? If they give us a development, guess what? We go out to the homeowners in that development and find out if anyone in that development is thinking of selling their home. Or you're thinking of selling your home. We do our own marketing to find this out because we can't go ring their doorbell. They may not all be home. We don't have all their phone numbers, so we got to market to these homeowners to find out who's thinking of selling. Someone might say, I'm thinking of selling, but I don't want to sell until 3 months from now. Or I'm thinking of selling, but I need to buy another home. Would your buyer be willing to buy my home and then let me rent it for a few months so I could find another home to live? Would you be flexible with that? If we're dealing directly with the homeowner, I think that would be a great option, right? So those are some of the things that we would do to win a bidding war, because you're the only one bidding with the seller. I'm thinking of selling, but I'm going to sell. I want to sell in 3 months from now, and I want to rent back for 3 months because I need to sell to get the money from the property so I could buy another home. Are you willing to allow the seller to do that? If you are, then this is where we're going to win the bidding war, because our Dream Home Finder program, go out and find the homes in the area you want to buy in. We have you take a look at the property. If you like the property, then we start to negotiate with the seller. We come up with a price, and then we come up with the terms, right? The seller might be like, hey, I'm thinking of selling, but my kids got to graduate first. Or I'm thinking of selling, but I got to wait for my kids to go away to college first. Or I'm thinking of selling, but my job is going to relocate me and I won't leave until 4 months from today. If you can close in the next 4 months, I'll sell. Right? That's one sure way of winning a bidding war. So again, my name is Sandy. I am a Central Florida licensed realtor with the Giff Group. My call number 407-791-4713. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you're in a bidding war, and give me a call. Let me know what's going on with you. Are you in a bidding war? Are you looking to buy in a certain development and there's no homes on the market in that development? I could help you with that. Are you looking to relocate to the area but wondering what location you should go in? I could help you with that. But these are some of the ways that you could win with your bidding war, and the best way to win is to be dealing with the seller directly with no buyers with you, and that's what we call our Dream Home Finders program. Thank you so much for listening, guys. See you next time.
Introducing the Knock Home Swap, a new way to buy a house before selling your old one. Here's how it works. First, we get you approved for a new home loan. That way you can start making stronger offers on the houses you love. We'll even lend you the down payment on your new home so you can buy right away without worrying about your equity being tied up in your old house. Once you've bought your new home, we advance you up to 6 months of mortgage payments on the old house so you never have to pay 2 mortgages at the same time. Finally, we offer you up to $25,000 in prepaid home prep funds so you can sell your house for top dollar. And with a dedicated support team, we're there every step of the way to make sure your house sells as quickly as possible. We've spent a lot of time improving the real estate experience to give you more certainty, convenience, and cost savings. And we think that makes our home swap the best possible way to buy and sell a home. Find out more from your Knox certified agent today.